Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Cleveland, Mississippi and Bearpin Park. It is the Consolation side of the bracket. Cleveland taking on Georgia. Robert Williamson set to bring in the coverage. We get a break in between the championship series, move over to the Consolation stuff, and give you an opportunity to see a couple of teams that maybe have not had the World Series that they were hoping for, but they have played some stellar baseball during the course of a season, obviously, to get here and now want to be able to wrap up the year on a high note. Last time we'll see Cleveland or Georgia. Robert Williamson to bring you the coverage as Randy Payne steps in and leads things off for the Cleveland squad. The first baseman batting for an 11-man rotation. Where Cleveland is concerned, had an injury yesterday to Javarius Griffin, who was playing short at the time. And the injury got Javarius off the field, and Cleveland obviously no player on a last minute basis to be able to substitute in. So an 11-man rotation for Cleveland as Randy Payne, the first baseman, starts things off. The count even at 2. Dominic Spinks is the shortstop batting in the 2 spot. Jakarius Griffin will play second and bat third. Jeffrey Drummer is the catcher, and he will bat fourth. Out goes Payne, a strikeout victim to begin the Cleveland first. Jonathan Jackson playing third will bat in that 5 spot. Lamontre Brown is the pitcher batting 6th. 7-hitter is LeCarrick Harris, the left fielder. Jordan Self will bat 8th. Darren White, the right center fielder, is in the 9 spot. Jamari Hall playing left center field will bat 10th. Terrion Williams is the right fielder, and he will hit 11th. Swing and a miss by Spinks, and the count even at 1. Georgia's got Evan Norton in the circle beside the pitching machine. Tyler Jordan is the catcher. River Bridges at first, as it is popped up in the direction of the screen, but gets out of play. Trenton Hill at second. The shortstop is Max Harris. At third, Cameron Murphy. In the outfield, Jai Garman is in left. Left center, Jackson Creamer. Right center, you'll find Peyton Howard, and Cooper Townsend is in right field. So there you have your lineup. Offensively, defensively, Cleveland and Georgia. In this Consolation matchup, game getting underway about an hour late. And that's thanks primarily to the Tennessee-South Carolina game as Spinks swings and misses. And there's 2 outs for Jakarius Griffin.
Now batting number 21.
The matchup between Tennessee and South Carolina turns into our longest game of the tournament. It went an hour and 39. And as a result, this game, which was slated for a 5:30 start, gets underway at about 6:30. Swing and a miss by Griffin. In the blue and white, it is Cleveland. In the camo, a red, white, and blue flavor. Georgia popped up in the direction of left field. That will drop in front of a Jai Garman, who is charging in, trying to make the grab on the short hop, and Griffin will have a single, a 2-out shot to get Cleveland a base runner here in the top part of the first.
Now batting number 44, Jeffrey Drummer.
Jeffrey Drummer headed to the plate. You see a number, by the way, on your scoreboard. That is a shout-out number. And in the second inning, we'll get to shout-outs. 334-488-1385 is the number to send shout-outs to Cleveland or to Georgia. We'll give you more info in a bit as to how to make all of that happen. Jonathan Jackson to the on-deck circle. Rolled slowly towards Harrison short. He will go over to first. Drummer wrapping into the 6-4. It is a 4-up, 3 down, 1 left aboard, top part of the first. We are a half inning in. Cleveland has batted, and Georgia will do so when we return to JockJive.com.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back. Her 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. There's that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State.
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Leading off for Team Georgia, number 36, Evan Norton.
Bottom of the first, top of the order, Evan Norton will start things off for Georgia. Taking a look at that lineup offensively for the Georgia squad. The pitcher begins. Words take on odd meanings and odd sounds the longer you stay at the park, but it is Norton who begins things. Jai Garman is the left fielder batting second. River Bridges playing first will bat third. Max Harris, the shortstop's got the 4 spot. Tyler Jordan catches and bats fifth. The 6-hitter is left center fielder Jackson Kramer, deposited into right field, and Norton on with a leadoff single for Georgia. Trenton Hill, the second baseman, batting in the 7 spot. Throw will get away from Lamontre Brown, and that's got Norton on his way to second. So Georgia with a base runner in scoring position here in the bottom part of the first for Jai Garman. Trenton Hill, the second baseman, batting 7th. Peyton Howard is the right center fielder at the 8 spot. Candler Bradley batting 9th. Cameron Murphy, the third baseman, has the 10-hole. Brandon Kilby will bat 11th. And Cooper Townsend, playing right, will bat 12th for Georgia. Lamontre Brown beside the pitching machine. Behind the plate is Jeffrey Drummer for Cleveland. Randy Payne at first. The second baseman is Jacarius Griffin. And shortstop Dominique Spinks, the third baseman, Jonathan Jackson. McCarrick Harris in left field. Left center belongs to Zamari Hall. Right center field, Darren White, Terrian Williams. He is in right field. And there you have it. Offense, defense. Georgia and Cleveland. Garman awaits. Count even, 1 apiece. Norton, the base runner, at second. Swing and a miss by Garman. A 2-strike count. One ball, couple of strikes. Garman awaits. River Bridges to be on deck circle. Norton in that I'm ready to head to third pose at second. He'll have to wait for the Bridges at bat as Garman swings and misses for out number 1. 1 away for River Bridges. Max Harris moving to the on deck circle. Well, I am multitasking. Got some things I'm trying to send to one of the other announcers because some of the shout-outs are designed for them. Bridges drops it into right field. Norton rounding third, comes in, scores. Shot thrown into Brown. Brown will retrieve, ask for the timeout. Bridges credited with an RBI on the single to right. Georgia on the board here in the bottom of the first. 1 away with Max Harris coming to the plate. Tyler Jordan moves to the on-deck circle. No swing on the opening pitch. Your officiating crew for this matchup behind the plate, Grant Williamson. Tony Wentz is at first, and Joe Willoughby is at third. Here's the 1-0 pitch as Max Harris awaits. Wrapped to short. Spinks and ricochets off Spinks into center field. Meanwhile, Bridges decides to go to third, and the throw over to third gets away from Jackson. Up will hop Bridges. He will go to the plate, be tagged out there by Jeffrey Drummer, while Max Harris winds up at third. And a little gimpy going over to the dugout is Bridges, and for one split second, not long, but I was really concerned about Bridges because I look down and he's limping, and I see the foot just basically twisted off to the side, and then I realize that's his shoe twisted off to the side and not his foot. Boy, that's good. For a minute there, it looked like something really nasty, but it was the shoe and not the foot. That's good news. Harris, he is now the base runner at third, but there's two gone.
Now,
nice play at the plate, though, by Drummer.
Tyler Jordan.
Tagging out Bridges to make sure that Georgia does not plate their second run, although they do have that potential second run now at third for Tyler Jordan, who fouls it off against the screen. This is a Cleveland squad that is playing without the services of Javarius Griffin. He was the shortstop hit in the face with a shot that ricocheted off his mitt. We have found out that he broke his nose with that shot and actually wanted to play today. But the wisdom of parents and doctors said, I don't think so. But our prayers for a quick recovery to Javarius. Wrapped over towards second, scooped up there by Griffin. He will go to first with a throw, get Jordan, and leave Harris on. Only one Georgia run plates in the bottom part of the first, but it's enough to take the lead. We head to the second. Georgia 1, Cleveland 0. Top of inning 2 after the 60-second timeout.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back. Her 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Leading off the second for Cleveland East is number 42, Jonathan Jackson.
Top of the second, Jonathan Jackson starting things off. Lamontre Brown, LeCarrick Harris due up in the Cleveland second as well. A 1-0 Georgia advantage. Consolation third place game. Not the Consolation Championship. That is being decided over on, let me find my bracket here. I believe that is field number 2 that's got, nope, that's 1. Well, we're on 2. That would make sense. We're on 2. 1 is hosting the Consolation Championship, Texas and Louisiana. Jonathan Jackson, a strikeout victim, 1 away here in the second. So one of those two teams will finish first in consolation. Second in consolation will be the other, and then this one will decide third and fourth. Lamontre Brown with 1 away, nobody aboard. Top of the second, LeCarrick Harris on deck. Swing and a miss, and the count evens up at 1. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Georgia sending a total of 5 to the plate, 1 left aboard, 1 comes in and scores, 3 go down in that Georgia bottom part of the first. Cleveland with a base hit in the first. Jackson strikes out of the second. Brown batting, Harris to follow. And shout-outs, by the way, we'll take them. 334-488-1385. You know the criteria, right? As it is popped up in the direction of third, back behind the bag and reaching back to make the catch is Cameron Murphy.
Now batting number 7, LeCarrick Harris.
2 gone for LeCarrick Harris. When you get to the Georgia second, it's Creamer, Hill, and Howard. The 6, 7, and 8 spots duo. But with your shout-outs, well, here's what we need. Obviously a shout-out, a salutation, a go-get-em, a word of encouragement. Then we'd like to know where you are watching from, city, state, country, that geographical thing. Harris with another swing and a miss and a 2-strike count. And if it's a unique spot, include that too. Want to send selfies? Have at it. We'll get them on our social media site later. Swing, a miss, and out goes Harris. 3 up, 3 down in the top of the second. We head to the bottom part of the inning. Jackson Creamer, Trenton Hill, Peyton Howard coming to the plate for Georgia. They lead it by a run.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back. Her 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Bottom of the second, Jackson Creamer starting things off for Georgia. 334-488-1385 to send shout-outs. Let's get to a few. Shout-out to Trenton Hill from Kaylee and Haley. Go Team Georgia. Kaylee and Haley, thanks so much for watching the game. Pop back up against the screen by Creamer. 1 ball, 1 strike. Go Thomaston, Georgia. Go get him Candler Dudley. Love Nana. Thank you very much, Nana. Count even 1 apiece on Creamer. Trenton Hill will follow. In a 1-0 game, it's fouled up against the screen again. Well, your game's going on at 5:30. And as a matter of fact, your coach pitch game's probably about to wrap up. The machine pitch game over on Field 1 looks like it is in its final stages as well. Texas and Louisiana. Mike Rideout with the coverage there. Creamer hits it to second. And the throw over to first. Nicely done by Griffin as he gets it into the man of Payne.
Now batting number 10, Trenton Hill.
1 away for Trenton Hill. In coach pitch, Alabama and Cleveland is a matchup that Marty Paulman's got the coverage of, which is tight, 13-11 late in that one. And then Chuck Sebastian with the Arkansas-Virginia game, and that's the one field that I can't see to give you an idea of what's going on. It is behind me. Foul out of play by Trenton Hill. And the official asking for one of the 2 baseballs that was in the Georgia coach's possession. Rolled towards third, but in foul territory. Jackson will go over to retrieve, but staying in the box is Trenton Hill. And don't forget, too, about Facebook and Twitter and subscribing to our YouTube channel. I mentioned we've got a short-term goal, trying to get to 10,000 likes by the end of the summer. Foul out of play, and I'm thinking to do something like that. We need to be around 95.5 by the end of today, maybe around 9,700 likes by the end of the tournament. Let's see where we're at. We picked up about 120 yesterday and wanted about 102 today to get us to 95.50. Well, we're 70 away. That's quite a bit of likes over the course of the next few moments, but yeah, no problem. Still got 3 games to get it in. So 334-488-1385 for shout-outs. And JockJive Sports on Facebook for likes. And at JockJive on Twitter. And, of course, to subscribe to our YouTube channel, just simply go to YouTube and look for JockJive Sports. Trenton Hill with a count even to 2, pops it up on the infield, drifting back trying to make the catch as Brown won't be able to do so, and Hill with a 1-out single of the infield variety gets on here in the bottom of the second.
Now batting number 42, Peyton Howard.
So a base runner aboard. Here's a happy birthday greeting to Trenton Hill's mom, Matrice Hill, from your big sister. We are watching in Thomaston, Georgia. Go Team Georgia. So happy birthday to Matrice. And Trenton, little gift for Matrice with a base hit over at first for Peyton Howard. Candler Dudley to the on-deck circle, roll towards short. Spinks able to get to it with the backhand, but base runner still safe. The deep shot to short has Howard at first with a single and gets Hill to second.
Now batting number 33, Candler Dudley.
A couple of base runners on for Candler Dudley. Cameron Murphy moves to the on-deck circle. And now Peyton Howard. A little attention, but apparently whatever the issue was resolved, and he is there at first. Swing and a miss by Dudley. This Georgia squad in pool play, losing to Tennessee 12-7 and then to North Carolina 5-2. Meanwhile, Cleveland shut out by Alabama 13-zip and by South Carolina 19-zip. Popped high into the air, dropped near the machine by Brown, and you really can't fault Brown. I mean, he's having to contend with a high fly ball, and then he's having to contend with the leg of a pitching machine, trying to work his way around the machine, trying to watch the ball that's going skyward simultaneously. And when it begins to plummet back to the earth, has a little problem keeping it in the mitt. All loaded up for Georgia for Cameron Murphy. As Dudley is at first, Howard at second, Hill the base runner at third. No swing on the first pitch to Murphy. Brandon Kilby moves to the on-deck circle. But again, help us with those Facebook likes. And we'll get you all kinds of info related to everything that we're doing. Rolled slowly over towards Jackson. Jackson looking for somewhere to go, thinking about home, and then decides no opportunity to get Hill. Then thought about third to try to get Howard. Not there in time. Base is still loaded, and Georgia will score a run on the Cameron Murphy line over towards third. Brandon Kilby. As the base is all loaded up here in the bottom part of the second, Cooper Anderson, make that Cooper Townsend. Cooper Anderson. I'm watching CNN too much. Cooper Townsend moving to the on-deck circle. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. And 1-2 on Kilby. Bases full, bottom of the second. A 2-zip Georgia lead. Kilby awaits, right-hander with some instructions from coach. Bases full, one away. And a swing and a miss by Kilby is out number 2.
Now batting number 21, Cooper Townsend.
2 gone for Cooper Townsend. Top of the order, moves to the on-deck circle. That is Evan Norton. Cooper Townsend, left-hander, steps in. That big twirl of the bat. And then pops it up in the direction of the circle. Charging in. Brown cannot make the catch. Howard will come in and score. And everybody else stays put. Cooper Townsend with an infield single that drives in the third Georgia run. Back to the top of the order we go as
Now
Evan
batting number
steps
36,
in.
Evan Norton.
They want to watch this game again and again, or any game of the World Series after the fact. Of course, you get it live, but you can also get the archive version. Go right back to the same spot where you watched the live coverage to watch the archive version of the game, or subscribe to our YouTube channel, and that will give you access to everything that we do on YouTube. Now, everything we do is not necessarily on YouTube, but the youth sports, the 17 and under, the high school, the youth sports, and on down is. So check it out. Base is full. Fouled back by Norton. More shout-outs. Go Trenton Hill, and happy birthday to his mom, Matrice. Let's go Team Georgia from cousin Tracy and Ada in Panama City Beach. Well, happy birthday to you, Matrice, Tracy, and Ada. Sending those birthday greetings. Popped up. And it is out of play. I would sing happy birthday to Matrice, but I don't know that that would be much to celebrate about. Maybe we can get our PA guy to do so. Norton driving it right up the middle. Brown's got it. Toss goes over to first. It's there in time. The 1-3 put out will get Evan Norton. Leave the bases loaded. A couple of runs plate, though, and Georgia's lead grows to 3. We head to the third. Self, White, and Hall. 8, 9, and 10 spots due up for Cleveland after the break.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back. Her 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Now batting number 2, Jordan Self.
Top of the third, Jordan Self starting things off for Cleveland. Darren White, Zamari Hall due up in the inning 2. 2 innings in, you've got a total of 1 base hit, 1 stranded for Cleveland, 6 base hits, 4 left on for Georgia in a 3-zip game. Rolled towards third, and I think that is a fair ball when it's touched by a third baseman. Cameron Murphy might have gone foul. And I think that's the argument that Murphy is making, but as the old saying goes, I think it's
Now batting
on
number 3,
deaf ears.
Darren
As
White.
Murphy was in fair territory when he touched the grounder by Self. And Self over at first for Darren White. Sun beginning to set in the west and just about to reach our side of the press box. So it may get warm in a bit here around field 2. Swing and a miss by White. Self on, White is in the box. Zamari Hall on deck. Here is the 1-1 offering. It is swung on and missed. And a 2-strike count on White. Georgia in the third will send Garmin, Bridges, and Harris to the plate. Well, it looks like over on the adjoining field they are acknowledging all the participants in the World Series for a couple of teams that are exiting. There is a swing and a miss by White.
Now batting, Zamari Hall.
And there's one away for Zamari Hall. That, by the way, is that consolation matchup between Texas and Louisiana. We'll see if we can find out who won that one. I see the final 14-3, but not sure who it belongs to, Texas or Louisiana. But those two teams are about to wrap up their season. And it was Texas that beat Louisiana. So there we have confirmation. Texas, a 14-3 winner over Louisiana. So that means that Texas captures the consolation title. And Louisiana will finish second. This is a battle for third and fourth on the consolation side of the bracket. Couple of strikes on Zamari Hall. Terrion Williams on deck. Jordan Self leading off with the infield single. He's over at first. White a strikeout victim. And Hall awaiting the two-strike pitch. That's it, sail by, and the count evens up at 2. You get a max of 5 pitches, and that was the 4th. So Zamari Hall will have to swing on this one. Two balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, and out goes Hall.
Now batting, number 22, Terrion Williams.
2 gone for Terrion Williams. Randy Payne, the leadoff hitter, moves to the on-deck circle. By the way, if you would like for us to work for you, we can. I mean, everything from T-ball to the NCAA Division I. From a little ballpark in rural Carabel, Florida, to NRG Stadium in Houston, the Toyota Center, Legion Field in Birmingham. That's the stuff we work. Big or small. Big budgets or little ones. Give us a shout. Info at JockJive.com. INFO, info at JockJive.com. And we would be more than happy to put a package together to be able to cover your team, your school, your conference, your event. Count even, 1 apiece on Williams. Fouls it against the screen, 1-2. Randy Payne waiting for an opportunity. He is on deck. Williams trying to give him that chance. Popped up. It is over towards third. Charging in to make the catch is Cameron Murphy. 4 go up, 3 go down. Second base hit of the contest, the leadoff Jordan Self single. We are through with the top of the third, headed to the bottom part of the inning. Garmin, Bridges, and Harris for Georgia. After the break, you are watching the 2017 DYB AA World Series on JockJive.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back. Her 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
This is coming from your father.
Bottom of the third, Jai Garmin starting things off. River Bridges, Max Harris due up in the inning 2. We'll have a shout out that asked, could you ask the PA guy, as it is popped high into the air in foul territory by Garmin, to send happy birthday greetings to Patrice Hill from her dad watching in Thomaston. Well, you may have heard the PA announcement. Hey, we aim to please. So happy birthday to you, Matrice. And now everybody here in Cleveland knows that you got a birthday. Happy birthday. Well, thank you very much, Thomaston, Georgia. Complimenting the coverage. Great to have you on the other end of the broadcast. I tell folks often, if it weren't for you, there'd be no need for us. So thank you very much for watching from the Thomaston, Georgia area. 3-zip Georgia lead here in the bottom of the third. Jai Garman, River Bridges, Max Harris, all slated to appear. Garman again pops it up towards the screen. Well, we are right now about an hour behind. That would mean the 8:30 game starts at 9:30, which means about 11 o'clock tonight we may leave the park. We will wait and see. No problem, by the way. Thank you is the text for getting the message to our illustrious PA guy. He is a broadcaster extraordinaire. Sending out those birthday greetings to Matrice. Hope you have had a good birthday. Garman, a strikeout victim in the first, batting here in the third. Has fouled off a couple of pitches and now he is set to deliver. Again, over into foul territory and out of play. So the Garmin at bat will continue. You get 5, a max of 5 pitches, unless you're fouling off that 5th pitch. So if you foul them off, there's no limit to how many tosses you get. And Garmin has fouled off a number of pitches here to begin the third. Lifts it in the direction of center field, and that will drop in for extra bases for Garmin. He's got great wheels. And he says, why stop at second? Let me go to third. Hits and rolls underneath Jackson's mitt. Garmin not satisfied with 3, will come in and score. So Garmin credited with a double, and then the throw around gets him onto the house. And Georgia takes a 4-zip lead with River Bridges coming to the plate. Bridges with an RBI single in the first. 2 more rounds of games slated for tonight, and we know what those games will be. In machine pitch, Virginia and Alabama at 7, Arkansas and Tennessee at 7. Those are elimination games, by the way. The teams that win advance, the teams that lose don't. They're out. That is a foul ball. As Brown tried to get to it, he did, got a mid on it, but it was on the foul side of the chalk line. So the River Bridges at bat will continue. Coach pitch at 7 o'clock. Your elimination games, Florida and Georgia, Texas and South Carolina. And then your winners bracket games at 8:30. And again, as I mentioned, likely not going to be 8:30 on this field. But sometime tonight on field 2, it'll be Florida and North Carolina. And then Mississippi and South Carolina in machine pitch. No swing on the toss. Coach pitch. You got an 8:30 matchup between North Carolina and Mississippi, as well as Louisiana and Tennessee. One ball, couple of strikes on Bridges. Max Harris on deck. Nobody's gone. 1 in. Wrapped over towards third. Jackson. Nice throw across the diamond to get Bridges on the 5-3 putout. 1 away for Max Harris.
Now batting, number 14, Max Harris.
Tyler Jordan to the on-deck circle. Harris got aboard, compliments of a base hit in the first. Batting here in the third and 4-zip contest. When you get to the Cleveland 4th, it's the top of the order due up. Randy Payne, Dominique Spinks, Jacorius Griffin. 40 minutes into this one. And it's a 4-zip Georgia lead. Smacked over towards Griffin. Griffin will bobble, recover over to first, and out goes Harris.
Now batting number 15, Tyler Jordan.
2 outs for Tyler Jordan. Jordan was the final out in the first inning. Compliments of the 4-3 putout. Jackson Kramer moving to the on-deck circle. Hit right up the middle. That is a Tyler Jordan base hit. Takes the big turn at first. Thinks he's got an opportunity for second. Then says, wait just a minute. Let's see if I can get back to first. And somehow slides in safely underneath the tag of Randy Payne. That was a case of the little engine that thought he could and then decided that maybe he would not. Tyler Jordan headed towards second, and you could just see in his eyes, in the body language, that I think I can, and then maybe I shouldn't, turned around and gets back to first safely. Jackson Kramer wrapped into a 4-3 in the second. 0 for 1 in the game, has a base runner on here in the third. Trenton Hill to the on-deck circle. It is swung on and missed, and the count evens up on Kramer. As we speak in machine pitch, 4 unbeaten teams in championship play. North Carolina, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Tennessee. Wrapped over towards first, and that is a fair ball. Able to squeeze between the bag and the mid of Payne. Jordan on his way to third. To second goes Jackson Kramer with a double. Couple of base runners on, both in scoring position as Georgia tries to put together some 2-out noise. Got one prior to the first out of Jai Garman. Then Bridges and Harris went down. Since then, Jordan and Kramer on. More shout-outs. This one says a big shout-out to head coach Michael Hill and all the coaches. Great job. Go Team Georgia. From Cuz Tracy. Thank you very much, Cuz. No swing on the pitch to Hill. The count will even up at 1. Peyton Howard hoping for an opportunity here in the Georgia third. Cleveland trying to get to the top of the inning. When the top of their order will come to the plate, Payne, Spinks, and Griffin, the 1, 2, and 3 hitters. The into foul territory from Trenton Hill. 4-zip Georgia lead. Wrapped over towards Spinks. Lobs over to first. And a nice dig on the opposite end by Payne. It went into the dirt, but Payne got the dig. And Hill will wrap into the 6-3, leaving a couple of base runners on. Georgia again, though, planning a run, their 4th one of the game. It's a 4-zip lead as we go to the 4th here on JockJive.com.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back. Her 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Top of the order in the top of the fourth, Randy Payne will start things off. Dominic Spinks, Jacarius Griffin due up in the inning two for Cleveland. Payne and Spinks struck out first.
Number 4,
Griffin had a single last time we saw the 1, 2, and 3 hitters. Cleveland, the host team, and Thomaston, Georgia, battling here on a Sunday evening in Cleveland, Mississippi. 7:15 on this Sunday afternoon, soon to become a Sunday night. Sun beginning to set in the west. Off the leg of the machine, and Randy Payne will be on with a leadoff single for Cleveland.
Now batting, number 8, Dominic Spinks.
So a base runner on for Dominic Spinks, who struck out in the first. Jacarius Griffin moving to the on-deck circle. Four-zip advantage. Georgia, 1 run in the first, couple of runs in the second, playing the run in the third. Cleveland trying to get on the board here in the fourth with Payne on. It is swung on and missed by Spinks. Gorgeous complex here, by the way. I've not mentioned lately, but should do it more often, about the great job that all the crew does in prepping the field. Stephen Glorioso and his staff, the ladies that make sure that the hospitality section of the box is as it should be, and the crews that do a great job, the PA guys, the scorekeepers, and I guess I should mention the PA girls. I need to be gender neutral. So the PA people who are doing such a great job. There is a shot into left field. And that base hit has got a couple of base runners on. Back-to-back base hits for Cleveland. And Jai Garman got a little banged up. And coach will make sure that Garman is okay. Payne gets on with a single. Spinks drives into second with a single. Couple of base runners on for Jacarius Griffin. Jeffrey Drummer, Jonathan Jackson to follow Griffin. Cleveland trying to get rid of the goose egg. They have not been able to play to run in the World Series, but they are now 120 feet away from doing just that, as Payne is the base runner at second. And you got to hope for moral victories for everybody, regardless of what section of the tourney you are in. And Cleveland sure would like to get a run. They are now 4 games into the World Series and have been shut out by the 3 previous opponents. And where Cleveland is concerned, you got to consider that they're just not out of this game, by the way. I mean, it's not just a matter of getting runs, as the throw goes over to third. Won't be there in time, and Payne is going to hop on up and head home. The throw that goes to the fence also gets Spinks in. Here comes Griffin headed towards third. He is there safely. And it all started with the fielding of Evan Norton. Went over to the third, wanted to get the lead runner, but the throw, he couldn't get it to Murphy. Payne will come in and score. Spinks will come in and score. And Griffin is the base runner at third for Jeffrey Drummer. And there's nobody out. It is a 4-2 contest. And Cleveland, which had been shut out in 3 previous games, is on the board. And as I mentioned previously, not just that, they are in the game. It is a 4-2 contest with Griffin at third and Jeffrey Drummer coming to the plate. And it looks like they're going to be a request for some Dixie Youth personnel.
Tommy, you're waiting.
Well, I saw the Georgia coach come over and converse with Grant Williamson, the plate umpire, and the body language of the coach did not look like they were exchanging pleasantries. And apparently something has been asked that the officials want confirmation from Dixie Youth officials. So that is who is headed to the field as we speak. And some questions posed by coaches and now mediated by officials will be asked in a 4-2 game. Top of the fourth, let's take a break. Be back here on JockJive.com. Just about all White Jones County. Diving catch at shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Perhaps got it. Long throw over, and he got it.
Now batting number 44, Jeffrey Drummer.
Well, welcome back. There was a conversation, as I mentioned prior to the break, between the Georgia coach and the umpire. Not exactly sure what the conversation was about, but it required the expertise of some of the Dixie Youth officials up here in the box who went down to the field to talk to plate umpire Grant Williamson. And apparently whatever information he provided was adequate and allows us to resume play. Griffin, the base runner, at third. And the tying run for Cleveland comes to the plate here in the top of the fourth in the form of Jeffrey Drummer. Jonathan Jackson to the on-deck circle. Drummer wraps it up the middle, fielded by Norton. He will go over to first, get the out on the 1-3, but it's an RBI for Drummer that makes it a one-run game.
Now
Griffin in for third.
42, Jonathan Jackson.
Jonathan Jackson, who struck out in the second. Bats here in the fourth. Lamontre Brown is on deck. Well, all it took was back-to-back hits and then a little luck on the error that got Griffin on. Payne and Spinks with the hits. 3 runs will plate. And Cleveland has had their biggest inning of the World Series here in the top part of the fourth. Georgia will try to respond in the bottom part of the inning with Howard, Dudley, and Murphy. The 8, 9, and 10 spots due up. Hit over to first. Bridges has it. Steps on the bag, and there's 2 gone.
Now batting number 1, Lamontre Brown.
2 gone for Lamontre Brown, who popped out to third as the middle out in the second inning. 53 minutes into this one, we're in the top of the fourth. Swing and a miss by Brown. In towards second, scooped up by Hill. He's got it to first and has Brown on the 4-3. 3 runs will plate, though, and Cleveland is right back into this one. It's a 4-3 contest. Georgia has Howard, Dudley, and Murphy coming up when we get to the bottom of the inning here on JockJive.com.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back. Her 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
We enter the bottom of the fourth. Peyton Howard starting things off. Cameron Dudley, Cameron Murphy due up in the inning two. A 3-run top of the fourth has Cleveland right back into this ball game. And Georgia will try to respond to the Cleveland runs in the top part of the inning with some of their own in the bottom part. Peyton Howard with a single and a run scored in the second. Hits it up the middle, caught the machine, and that means it's a single and no more for Howard. So Howard will get on for Candler Dudley. Dudley with a single, got to third in the second, stranded there. Let's see if there will be a toss first. There will, to just make sure the pitching machine is still throwing accurately. As the shot from Peyton Howard caught the leg of the machine. So coach will put ball in machine and we'll make sure everybody is content with where the ball is placed over the plate, and apparently so. Donnelly, Murphy, and Kilby with a base runner aboard, nobody out. Here in the bottom part of the fourth in a one-run contest. Major League Baseball scores into 3. Nationals and Rockies still scoreless. Also the Giants and Dodgers scoreless after 2. Just about everything else is final. Rays beat the Yankees 5-3. Blue Jays over the Angels 11-10 as that one is swung on and missed by Dudley. Tigers topple the Astros 13-1. Reds rip the Marlins 6-4. Royals over the Red Sox 5-3. Phillies beat the Braves 2-1. Rockies a 10-6 winner over the Nationals in the first game of a twin bill. And, of course, the nightcap underway. White Sox 3-1 over the Indians. Cubbies beating the Brewers 4-2. Cards nipped the Diamondbacks 3-2. Orioles 10-6 over the Rangers. A's beat the Twins 6-5. Mariners a 9-1 winner over the Mets. And the Pirates beat the Padres 7-1. Hit up the middle. Fielded by Brown. Brown couldn't find the handle on the baseball, and that will allow Dudley to get to first, Howard to second. So a couple of base runners on for Cameron Murphy. Brandon Kilby to the on-deck circle. You were updated on Major League Baseball scores, by the way. Cameron Murphy has got 2 aboard, Howard and Dudley, and the opening pitch, no swing. Day 3 of the World Series tomorrow. And we are hoping that Mama Nature is just as cooperative tomorrow as she has been the last couple of days. Popped up on the infield. And Brown can't get to it. Bobble to mid. Jackson trying to head towards third. And then he throws to Spinks covering. Howard will come in and score. Dudley will go to third. Murphy is your base runner at second.
Now batting, number 2, Brandon Kilby.
Brandon Kilby with a couple of base runners in scoring position. But day 3 of the World Series tomorrow starts at 3 in the afternoon. So all those who have been working long, hard hours will get an opportunity to sleep in a bit tomorrow, as it is fouled out of play by Kilby. In baseball tomorrow, 3 o'clock. Let's see what other times you got. 3, 4:30, and 7:30 games. Socked up the middle. That will get beyond Brown. Travels into center field. Dudley will come in and score. Murphy, he heads home too. Kilby with a 2 RBI single.
Now batting number 21, Cooper Townsend.
And Georgia has rebuilt that lead to 4. Matching the 3 runs scored in the top part of the inning with 3 of their own thus far here in the bottom. Kilby's at first. Cooper Townsend, who had an RBI single in the second, comes to the plate. The left-hander awaits. The machine delivers. And it's fouled against the screen. Evan Norton has moved to the on-deck circle. Cleveland in the 5th. Scott Harris, Self, and White coming to the plate. We are 1 hour, 1 minute into this one. And in the bottom of the 4th, another lengthy one on field 2. I don't know what it is about field 2. It's been marathon games here. Right between the legs of the pitching machine, and picked up by the shortstop, Spinks, while laying on the bag to get the out of Kilby.
Now batting number 36, Evan Norton.
1 away as we get back to the top of the order. Evan Norton steps in. Well, as I mentioned, the 7 o'clock game not going to start at 7. Doesn't look like it's going to start at 8. Which means the 8:30 game won't happen at 8:30 and may not happen at 9:30. We may have youngsters starting a game around 10 p.m. for the final game of the day here on field 2. Evan Norton with a single and a ground out, 1 for 2. He has scored a run as well. Hits to Spinks at short, between the legs of Spinks into left field, and Townsend safely at second. Norton will reach first.
Now batting number 3, Jai Garman.
Couple of base runners on for Jai Garman, who is 1 for 2. He has struck out and doubled. River Bridges on deck. Well, I mentioned some of the stuff that we are doing up and coming. AAA Majors and Ozone World Series in Oxford, Alabama, starting on Saturday, as it's fouled off by Garman. Tuesday and Wednesday, we are in Guntersville, Alabama, for the Dixie Pre-Majors World Series Final Four, and then got the semis and the championship for the Majors on Tuesday and Wednesday, too. Hit to Spinks, takes an evil hop on Spinks, rolls over the shoulder, travels into left field, rounding third, coming home is Townsend. Norton is at second. Garman with an RBI single at first.
Now batting number 9, River Bridges.
Georgia building their largest advantage at 5. A couple of teams trying to round out the World Series on a high note. It is the last game both of these teams will play in this year's World Series, and they both want to go away with something positive. Line right at Spinks. And River Bridges is out, number 2.
Now batting number 14, Max Harris.
Max Harris, 1 for 2 in the game. A single and a ground out to second. Tyler Jordan moves to the on-deck circle. Well, it looks like most of the 7 o'clock games getting underway. Well, one's in progress, another is about to begin, and The field on the opposite side of the box probably is near the end, the way things have been going for Chuck. He's had some easy days broadcasting over on field number 4. That one will pop off the mitt of Harris. Harris charging in, trying to make the catch, could not. In to score comes Norton. Also scoring is Garmin, and Max Harris thought about coming home and then decides maybe not. And we'll trot back to third.
Now batting number 15, Tyler Jordan.
Georgia now with a 7-run advantage as Tyler Jordan steps in. Jordan 1 for 2. He's ground out and he's had a single. Rolls this one to Spinks. Spinks throw over to first. That will pop out of the mid at first of Randy Payne. Goes over towards the dugout. Jordan Taylor, Tyler Jordan will wind up at second. And it's now an 11-3 contest. And apparently the officials have drawn the coach's attention to left fielder LeCarrick Harris. And Harris will now take a knee. He came in on that pop fly from Max Harris, trying to make the catch on the run. And may have gotten banged up a little bit there, and it looks like coach is going to bring him out. And let's see who comes in to replace LeCarrick Harris. Well, they're going to play with 3 versus the 4 fielders. Well, now out of the dugout, Terrion Williams. And Terrion, who is headed to left, makes a right turn and goes to right. So they will play with 4 as Williams comes out of the dugout. And then everybody else shifts over 1. So apparently LeCarrick Harris got banged up a little bit on the Max Harris fly ball. And now the officials in a conversation with the Georgia coaches. Well, obviously we've got a break in the action while they converse. Why don't we do this? Back in a half minute on JockJive.com. Just about all White Jones County. Diving catch at shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Kraft's got it. Long throw over, and he got it. Well, it appears that because of the injury to Harris, and apparently the injury did occur prior to the at-bat of Tyler Jordan, Harris has been put back at third, a run taken off the board. Well, Jordan's going to deliver anyway, and as a matter of fact, finds the gap. Jordan on his way towards second. He heads towards third. Harris comes in and scores. And I guess it pays off for Georgia. They wind up getting a base runner 60 feet closer. And the run counts nonetheless.
Now batting number
But what
1,
transpired during the timeout was because of the injury to Harris, and because the injury occurred prior to the Jordan at-bat, the officials decided that the at-bat for Jordan, the hit, was not a hit. The injury took precedence and in reality created a dead ball. So Harris had to go back to third. Jordan had to go back to the plate. Jordan instead delivers with a triple. Picks up the RBI. Harris comes in nonetheless. And now Jordan is at third for Jackson Kramer. Kramer hit into a 4-3. He also doubled, and that shot 2 seconds out of Griffin's reach. Scoring from third is Jordan.
Now batting, number 10, Trenton Hill.
Trenton Hill to the plate with a 9-run Georgia lead here in the bottom of the fourth, an hour 10 into this one. And there was no pitch. And let's see why there was no pitch. Looks like the on-deck hitter, Peyton Howard, contending with some issues, so as a result, that toss will not count. Kramer, the base runner at first, 2 gone, bottom of the fourth, 9-run Georgia lead. Team that wins this one ends third in Consolation. Team that loses finishes fourth. Late swing by Hill. Hill with a single and a ground out. He singled in the second, ground into a 6-3 in the third. Here's the 0-1 offering to Hill. Peyton Howard is on deck. Howard's the guy that started off the inning. Hit towards Spinks. Spinks not in time, over at first. Had a little trouble finding the grip on the baseball and not able to get it over to second in time to get Kramer. And that's got Peyton Howard coming back to the plate.
Now batting, number 42, Peyton Howard.
Peyton Howard, a couple of singles. He has got a base runner in scoring position. If that runner scores, we don't go to the fifth. Howard singled in the second, singled earlier here in the fourth. Has scored both times he came to the plate and got aboard. Candler Dudley to the on-deck circle. The lead is 9, a lead of 10 after 4. Closes it early. A swing and a miss. Hill at first, Kramer at second. And Kramer is putting a little air in the tire. And to lace up the cleats before we can get action back underway. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Pop towards center field. That will drop in. Coming around third, Kramer. He will head towards the house. Throw to second. Not in time to get Hill. Kramer will score, and this ball game will end. The lead is 10. It closes out after 4 and goes final as Georgia will knock off Cleveland to capture third in the Consolation Series. First belongs to Texas, second Louisiana. Georgia finishes third, and Cleveland fourth in the Consolation Series. As your final score, 13-3. Georgia wins it. Thanks so much for watching the coverage. Don't forget, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And thanks for being on the other end of our coverage. Congratulations, both teams, on a great year. More baseball still to come. Upcoming game right about 8:15 here on field number 2 in machine pitch when it is Arkansas and Tennessee battling. See you then, Robert Williamson for JockJive.com.